extreme turbulence forced a flight out of Texas to make an emergency landing. Several passengers had hospitalized. Gio Benitez has that story for us. Good morning, Gio.
Hey, Robin, good morning to you. Yeah, as you said, the turbulence was so bad, 7 people were sent to the hospital. Now this morning, passengers on board are describing those chaotic moments.
Lufthansa Airbus A330 experienced extreme turbulence.
This morning, a mid-air scare for passengers on a Lufthansa flight traveling from Austin, Texas to Frankfurt, Germany. Violent turbulence forcing that plane to land at Dulles Airport outside Washington, D.C.
Approximately patients have been triaged. We're in the process of either obtaining refusals and or getting folks transported to the hospital shortly.
I don't think even the people that were on board, that were the cabin crew, I don't think any of them have actually ever experienced anything like this. This was shocking.
Passengers describing items tossed all over the cabin, including food trays.
It was kind of like you're in slow motion, that you just see everything like in a movie where you just see everything lift, and then all of a sudden it just comes right back down. It felt like 5 seconds of falling, and then there was shaking.
The FAA says the flight landed safely, adding the crew reported encountering severe turbulence at 37,000 feet altitude over Tennessee.
This is the very reason that pilots warn you from the cockpit to keep your seatbelt fastened, because if we hit something like this and you're not strapped in, you could go flying.
And it's worth repeating, keeping that seatbelt on is just critical, because once turbulence like that hits, it may be too late and you may not be able to put that seatbelt on at all, Robin.
Yeah, it is worth repeating, Gio. And there was another incident involving a battery fire on a Spirit Airlines flight. What can you tell us about that?
Yeah, Robin, so this was a flight from Dallas to Orlando. It had to land in Jacksonville instead. A battery, we're told, caught fire in one of the overhead bins, and this was a guest battery, a passenger's battery on board. 10 people actually had to go to the hospital, but we are told they are going to be okay. The FAA says it will investigate.
All right, Gio, thank you. So much going on with flights.
Sure is.
Absolutely.
Hi, everyone. George.
So much going on with flight indeed. Shalom, beloved brothers and sisters, Jews and Gentiles alike. Welcome. Thank you for being here. It is good. It is good to be here. Give me a 1 if you can hear me and see me well. Yes. Yes, beloved. Yes. It's just so much going on with flights indeed. Thank you, beloved. Yes, we will begin the prayer shortly, but before that, we will ask the nation to tell us if you have read what the sister had sent unto us concerning 2024 BC and 2024 AC. 2024 before Christ, BC. 2024 after Christ, BC. 2024 BC before Christ, the time of Abraham. 2024 AC after Christ, our time now. The book name is Gods of the New Millennium. I already ordered a copy, and it's over $434 on Amazon. They have a few copies left, and try to get the 1996 version if you can. That's the one that I try to get. I don't know if I'm going to receive it. And this book is quite rare, so to speak. It is pretty rare, very rare, I might say so myself. When I check the statistics on it, when I check certain software that are new, it's not in there. They don't know anything about it. That's indicated me this is a good book to have. Now, just to elaborate on what the sister had posted, and let me go ahead and get into this. You know what? Let me read the post for you so we can better discuss this thing. All right. Now, Good. The posts go as follow. Okay. Shalom, brother Big Levi. Watch your afternoon video today. Amazing how the timeline aligns with the 7-year time frame between the eclipse, expected to be April 2024, which Big Judah brought out. One of my sisters brought this out after I was discussing your video with her. I am not sure if you had ever tied Sodom and Gomorrah to a timeline or a year, but it was found in this book below. 2024 plus 2024, 4048. And if you add the total, 16, 7 completion. Achievement, that's from the book, page 239. Achievement at the grand old age of 83. 3 years later, Hagar bore him a son, Ishmael. They are talking about Abraham concubine, Hagar, because back then it was the law. The law required, well, still require any woman that cannot give birth, they can give the handmaid unto the husband, and so they can have children by her. This is them. It was a practice that was going on back then. That was it. That's what it is. Till today, you have people that carry children for other people, whether for free or some of them do it for money because the original parents supposedly cannot have offspring, they have offspring by them. Surrogacy, yes, surrogate. We had discussed this. That's what it is. If you have any issue, you might want to go back to the Bible and yell at it. Now, Abraham, she was 83. Okay, let me read this again. All right. Achievement at the grand old age of 83 years old. 3 years later, Hagar bore him a son, Ishmael. The biblical record is then blank until 13 years later. When at age 99, Abraham entered a covenant with God, who promised him a child the following year, another fine achievement. Before that year had passed, Sodom and Gomorrah were destroyed. The date was 2024 BC. Now, at 99 years old, Abraham had Isaac. Why 99? Why would the Messiah wait for Abraham to be 99 years old? You see, back then there were no such age, there were no such things for age for, well, one for copulation and two for offspring. You could bear children any age. Remember in the book of Adam and Eve, when Eve and Adam reached somewhere around 900, they had to go to the Mosai and have the Mosai call them. Cull, literally remove the natural, well, I would say not animal instinct, but to remove the natural instinct for them to reproduce. They may not told you after that Adam and Eve, they were still having more children. They didn't stop with Cain and Abel, Cain and his brother and Seth and all that. They had multiple children. They had to stop. Of course, they will not tell us the name and things like that. You're going to have to search for it. So at 83, Agar was able to get pregnant and she gave birth to Ishmael. At 99 years old, Abraham was able to, quote unquote, impregnated his wife, Rebecca, and she bore him Isaac. The reason, beloved, why the mighty one wait for Abraham to reach the age 99, because the number 9 is the number, it's the ultimate number. There is no 10. Of course, the number goes for 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. There are only 9 numbers. In fact, they go from 0 to 9, but 0 is infinite. 0 is the one that you can see. 1 through 9. If you add 1 through 9 equal 10. If you want to have 11, you will add 10 to 1. That's what it is. 9 is the number you can't get out of. In the future, we will explain more about the number 9. Okay, 99 years old. Remember the first video that one of the first video that we ever made that give us the confirmation there will be no Jacob's trouble. It is the video when the the three angels, Raphael, Michael, Gabriel, and the fourth Uriel that was somewhere, went unto Abraham and his house and announced the birth of which child, if you remember. What is the nickname of this child? For those of you that watch this video, that was the video that confirmed unto us there will be no Jacob's trouble. That's when the Mighty One literally downloaded the message while I was making the video 3 years ago, if I'm not remembered. And I said the message and the Spirit overcome me. That's what it was. Thank you, Yakaya Shara. The Dundun Chai. The Dundun Chai. Now you see how everything is connected back to everything that we had studied. When the Dundun Chai was going to be born, he was born somewhere in 2024 BC. And once this child was born, was the beginning of the destruction. Now we do understand one of all the four archangels. Of course, when the Mighty One is speaking, he sent all the four element unto Abraham. He mastered them, and he was able to do all those things. And when this child was born, and this child become the father, okay, of our forefathers. Now, when you look at Isaac, when Isaac was born, he had Ishmael. Ishmael was just like what you're calling Esau or Esau or Esau in French. Ishmael was like Esau, and Isaac was like Jacob. Ishmael liked to go out there and hunt, and always with his bow. He was a wild man. He liked to fight and kill and do all those things. See, the process repeat with Jacob and Esau. Hagar was a very proud woman. Hagar was humble. Remember, Hagar was, it's a certain book, Hagar was given unto Sarai. Before I say Rebecca, I say his wife Sarai. Hagar was given unto Sarai as an inmate by the king Abimelech, by the Pharaoh Abimelech himself. When the whole thing happened unto Abimelech, when he was trying to lie down with Sarai, and the angel that was there beat the spirit out of him. The angel started murdering everybody in Egypt. And when they consult the wise men, they look at the star, they say, this woman is the one that caused this. Come to find out, Sarai was not Abraham's sister. She was, believe it or not, she was, okay? And Isaac said, she's my sister, but she was Isaac's wife. So therefore, Abimelech violated the law. Once Abimelech violated the law, the angel beat him up, and then he had prayed. Abraham told the angel to stop, and he did. And because he didn't destroy the whole Egypt, which he could, so he gave unto Sarai Hagar as a concubine, as a servant, as a handmaid. Hagar become one of us. She followed the law. She dress, eat, worship our God. She become one of us. That's why Sarai was so comfortable out of all the servants that they had, because she was basically a queen. Abraham was a king back then. She was basically a queen. Out of all the servants, she gave unto her husband, the king, Hagar, because she could not get pregnant. Right after Hagar get pregnant, and Hagar realized that she heard the prophecy that Abraham will have a son that will carry the whole earth through this son that Abraham will have. The entire world blessing will come from this son, and the entire world will worship the God of the son. Those people will rule this earth. When Hagar heard that, her pride overcome her. She realized she was carrying that son, and she became very proud. She refused to let Sarai communicate with Abraham. She mocked Sarai. She called Sarai a name, and that's when Sarai beat the spirit out of her. Sarai almost killed her. And Sarai went overboard, and the Most High was not happy about that, because the Most High had planned for Ishmael. Sarai went way too far because of that's one of the, if you keep reading the stories, you see the women, they have power. They will use it worse than men. Sarai was supposed to corrected Agar, and that said, she went as far as almost she was going to kill both of them, Ishmael and her mother. The reason why? Because one day Ishmael heard that he was not going to be the father of that nation. He knew his little brother Isaac was going to be that. So what he did, one day he was a bowman. He was really good at bow. And then one day he came in right in front of Isaac while Isaac was little. He was playing, and then he drew the bow. He was going to murder Isaac. And then Sarai saw that. She yelled at him, and he aimed the bow all the way, and then he would draw it. Ever since, Sarai beat the mother. Sarai beat her because Hagar was very proud. Hagar called her name. Hagar called her a certain name that you should never call a woman. We had take the example. Did you know that a mule cannot have an offspring? If you put two mules together, you breed them. The female mule cannot give birth because a mule is a crossbreed between a donkey and a horse. So a female mule cannot give birth. So this is the worst thing back then you could call a woman, a mule, a female mule. And she used to mock Sarai and calling her that all the time and making gesture and saying that she's a, back then, if you were quote unquote barren, a prostitute had better value than you. No man wants to be with a barren woman. Nobody want to be around a barren woman. Barren woman back then was like you had quote unquote HIV/AIDS. They thought barren, you are contagious. Okay, thank you, Gigi Love, for being a member of student for 1 month. Thank you. And already. She was very disrespectful. She spit on Sarai. She locked her out of the room. She literally swagger jack the queenship. Is that what it is? The queen womanship? The queen womanship from Sarai. And Sarai was only being nice to her. Every time she does something, Sarai did not want to hurt the child because the child was technically, according to the law, Sarai's son. So Sarai always obey. Sarai become the servant. She become the queen. And she was ordered too much, saying too much. She was saying things, and Sarai got enough of almost kill her. And in the process, Sarai ended up hurting the child. So now she went to the heavenly court. So the Most High had to pay her reparation. That's why the Most High look at Ishmael. He said, he will be rich. He will have all the money, all the oil, all that desert land because of what Sarai did unto him. But Ishmael is not the chosen one. The line will not come over unto him. He will be rich. He will be wealthy for that period of time. That's why you see those fellows in that desert have all sort of money, and people trying to say they are the true Esau. Man, no, they're not. See, Esau like to hide. See, the whole world is not dressing like Arab people running around and doing none of this nonsense. Everybody's wearing suit. Everybody have that Western mindset. It shows you who have it. Now, in 2024 BC, when this incident happened, now during that time when the Mighty One was going to destroy Sodom and Gomorrah, the Mosai was destroying Sodom and Gomorrah not only because they were wicked, because they were doing things to a bunch of people. The last thing that triggered the event why the Mosai want to destroy them because they killed an innocent girl. She was a little Gentile, a little heathen. Why they killed her, you may ask? They, first of all, Sodom and Gomorrah was doing a bunch of things beyond cowboyism. They were doing like horrible things. Okay, they were just like as the Samaritan because, well, they were. Samaritan were the worst. Okay, Sodom and Gomorrah were offshoot of them. They literally do everything the quite opposite. One of the incidents that really angered the Mosai, there was a fellow, he was a traveler, he was a stranger. He came into the town of Gomorrah or Sodom. He asked for lodging and he asked to pay for whatever the amount was. And the men in the city took the fellow, okay? They grabbed him. They had their bed outside. Or if when you enter the town of Sodom and Gomorrah, they had the custom of having a certain bed outside, certain short bed, and they will take a man. They will take this man on purpose. They will grab him by force. They will put him up on the bed and stretch him out. The term stretching a man out on the bed for all of us growing up, this is what it means. It literally means they measure you up on the bed. If you're good for the bed, they will stretching you out for the bed. Okay, they were stretching out a lot of men up on the bed. Not women though, men. And they abused this guy and they stole everything that he had. He couldn't go home. They have a law in their city that says don't feed any stranger. Don't give unto any strangers. And they let this man hear. That fellow was stuck there for months. He was starving to death. There was a little girl, okay, that was in there. He saw that this man was dying. And every morning she asked she's going to go get water. She had a little vase upon her head. She would put bread, food in the vase. And then when she went over there to this man, and she would give the man bread and food and wine. What they did, they crippled that man. They stretched that man too hard on this bed. They beat him so much. They crippled him. He could not leave. They literally disabled his feet so he could die. So when they pass 90 days, 4-6 months, they still see this man alive and being jolly. So they question themselves, say, how this dude staying alive? Nobody's feeding him. So one of them, a group of them, they hide behind a bush. They were watching this man high stay alive. And they saw that little girl, that young woman, came out with the vase upon her head, feeding this man every day. So now they took the girl, they do unto her the same thing they did unto the man, and they took all her clothes off. The proper word will say they painted her body with honey and they burned her to death. And these acts, the Mosai said, that's it. That was the only person in the town. I believe that was either one of Lot's daughter. Yes, she was Lot's daughter. Yes, I believe that was one of Lot's daughter. Yes, she was Lot's daughter. That was the only person in the whole freaking like Los Angeles, New York City. She did one righteous thing that was going to save the town. How did they repay her? They cover her in honey and burn her to death. And there are certain things after they did with her flesh. after they burned to death. And the Messiah said, that is it. Raphael, Gabriel, Michael, Uriel, go over there and destroy this place. But the mighty one don't do collateral damage. Before that, he sent unto Abraham and his wife and the whole kingdom of Abraham, they save. And the whole kingdom of Lot and his daughters and his servants and everybody that Lot's friend that listened, they were saved. Because the mighty one don't do collateral damage. Now, this thing that happened in 2024 BC, of course, Hagar was 83 years old. 83 is another symbolic number for the so-called Psalm 83, the heathens, the one that came against us, that come from this coalition and come after us and destroy our people. Hagar is like the mother, symbolically. Hagar is the mother of 83. She gave birth into that 83 timeline. Sarai is the birth of the 12. She gave birth unto us. This is just things that we said will come up here. Now, the same thing that happened in 2024 BC, the destruction will happen now in 2024 AC after Christ. As we said, you have 1 year to go. Today is March the 2nd. We have officially entered what hour? Today we have officially entered what hour? If you have it in your calendar, please let me let me hydrate it, the holy temple with the Holy Spirit. Then we will begin. All right. Excuse me. All right. Today, we have officially entered the 8th hour. You have 3 more hours left. Those 3 hours will reach or will be here in 1 year. You have 1 year left or 3 hours left. It could be 2 hours. One thing I know damn well, it's not going to be 4 hours. Beloved, because of this great news, because of these great also things that we had discussed, let us pray. After the short prayer, we will go in depth about that 1 year or that 3 hours that you have left. You know who you are. Heavenly Father, thank you. Thank you for giving us this message. Thank you for giving us. Thank you for giving unto us more knowledge, more wisdom, and more comprehension of things that are past and things that are going to pass. Thank you for passing your message unto your handmaiden, our beloved sister K, our beloved sister SM, MS, the other sister that was with her studying. That's what it is. That's what our people need to do. They need to go around and discuss things with other people, with the things that matter, things that are in the nation. So the Most High can pass the message through you, through him, through her, through us. We're not gonna sit there and discussing garbage and things that has no profit for the nation. Heavenly Father, we thank you for everything. We will like to tell the nation about our beloved sister Dali. Love herself. Keep the beloved sister in your prayer. Yesterday, she had lost her mother. Her mother had made transition. Beloved sister Madeleine Hall. Keep the family hall in your prayer, Sister Dali, love, and keep her in your prayer, please. Her mother recently had passed away. We ask the nation to pray and pray for the whole nation and pray for the whole people. As we are advancing into our timeline, we are going towards our salvation. We are seeing the proof, the signs are everywhere. We cannot deny this. We will not deny that. The Mighty One made it very real. He made it very clear unto you that you have 3 hours out of the impious age, and you have 1 year out of the regular human year calendar, out of your human calendar year, because you have perverted, altered, and changed all things that are righteous and good in the eyes of the Holy One. He sent the message both ways. 3 hours of the impious age and 1 year out of your calendar. You have been warned. We thank the Most High for all that He have done unto us, whether they were good or to us seems to be evil. The Mighty One Himself is incapable of doing evil. Everything that He's done unto you, it's for your own good. It's for correction. Everything bad that happened in your life, there's a lesson here that need to be learned. Did you learn the lesson? Because you will encounter the same issue. You just not need to repeat it. We thank the Most High God Almighty for giving us more clarity, more light into prophecies that are coming, into prophecies that are happening at this present time. May His will be done in this earth as it is in heaven. Selah, so be it. And the will of the Most High God Almighty is the will of His children also. Our will is the will of the Most High. Whatever that He want, we want it too. That is why you see all those things are happening upon the face of this earth. By the beautiful and passive and also active energy the Mighty One give unto me, I emanate my peace unto you. Go in peace, beloved brothers and sisters. There will be no Jacob's trouble. Yea, indeed, the done child has come and reaffirm unto us that everything's going to be clear, nice, and peaceful. Do not be dismayed. Do not be enraged and fear. No trembling of the heart, neither of the loin in the midst of our nation. Go in peace, you may go. The prayer is good. Yes, there will be no Jacob's trouble here, man. Let us discuss why the Mighty One said they have 1 year to go. When we look at the dream the beloved brother had, brother Ian from the UK, but before we go on to that, are you familiar with the dream? Are you familiar with the dream brother Ian had? A year ago, December 20th, 2021. If you are not, I believe most people here, they should be familiar with this dream. That is good. So, to all of you that are familiar with this, if you are not familiar, we had a prayer yesterday. You may want to go into that and watch it. It will explain what it is. Because of the brother had this dream, there was a clock in there. And the clock mentioned certain hours because the brother asked a very distinctive, a very clear question. Mighty One, when are you going to put your holy hands upon them? And he showed him a clock, 2 clocks, and then he showed the black hand. Why 2 clock? Double destruction, double, 2 kingdom, 9, the earth and the heaven. That's why Abraham was 99 years old. 2 clock, number 99. Remember, the clock, once a clock reset its time, it has to go a 24 hours, so to speak, cycle. From AM, when the day go from 11:59 a.m., then it reset it back to night, 1 p.m. That's when, according to hours, the night begin. Okay, that's when the angel of the night step in. So we have 11 p.m., 12 p.m. That's when of the angel of the night come in. Okay, now we left the angel of the day, the angel of the night coming until 12 a.m. The angel of the day come in. Now, back in 2022, June 24th or June 26, 27, around that timeline, we had the core cleansing bath. During that time, there was an event that happened. The earth was hit by a CME or solar flare, if I'm not mistaken, probably not. It caused a disturbance in the technology of the 83s. when they were observing the wall clock, every single time on the dot, whenever it's 23 hours, 58 seconds, 59 seconds, it reset to 0 hours. 0 hours mean midnight. 0 hours mean midnight. But what happened, the clock skipped 1 or 2 minutes faster. When they were regularly counting the clock skipped a second faster. It's already 1. Time flies. But anyway, the clock skipped a second faster. Now, you might say 1 second is what they lost. That's not what that is. Now, let us calculate, brethren. I'm not too good with math, but let me do the best that I can do for a second when it comes to calculating certain things. Now, you lost, when the clock skipped 1 second, it skipped 1 second for that day. And each day it repeated that. Of course, they're not going to tell you. Yes, beloved brother, those seconds add up. You do not just lose 1 second. It moved 1 second every day. So after how many seconds there is in a minute? I just want the people to insert this in the chat room so we can go further into that. How many seconds there is in a minute? Excuse me. Gone in 60 Seconds. Good movie. Nicolas Cage and all the other fellow. There's 60 seconds in 1 minute. There's 60 seconds in 1 minute. Now, every day for 60 days since June 24th or 27, we'll give it the benefit of the doubt. We'll say it's in July 1st so we can make a somewhat inaccurate calculation. 60 seconds equals 60 days. Or 60 minutes. Every day it skipped 1 second. And 60 days, the clock moved a minute into the future. You move a minute after 60 days. Let me see. July, August, September, October, November, December, January. Is that what that is? 6 months. Yes, it was off by 8 minutes. Now the time clock is off by somewhere around 9 minutes. Brethren, you might say 9 minutes, that's nothing. Brother, 1 second, 1 second, it's a lot. 1 second is not. The clock is off by 8 minutes. That is why when this stuff happened, brethren, okay, when this stuff happened, the YouTube algorithm glitch, we saw that we had the 1.3 million subscribers. Last time we checked, it was 2.88 million subscribers, which is somewhere around 3 to 4 million. I don't know. I don't care. Their system that they are seeing right now, it messed up. They cannot see things 8 minutes after. That is why 8 minutes after the incident happened, Sister Lisa Cabrera bought, they had a solar eclipse. They didn't even see, they didn't even know. After 8 minutes, when it happened, they saw it in their devices and apparels and things that they have over there in NASA or wherever the hell they got those things. They were surprised. So the timeline moved 8 minutes in the future. Now it's about 9 minutes in the future. So things are moving very, very astonishingly fast. Because we had acquired some information from Brother Wisdom, aka Brother Remedy H, on his channel. Today, make it officially, we enter the 8th hours, or the 8th hours. What that means, March the 2nd, 2024, you will enter the 11th hour. March 2nd, 2024, you will enter the 11th hour. Excuse me. After the 11th hour, you'll find the 12 hours. The clock of the hand, the dreams show either 11th hour or 10th hour. We don't know. At least I don't. But we know for a fact, based on the events that are happening now or that happened in 2020, it didn't stop. It still continues today. The events are getting worse and worse and worse. Then in 2024, there is no way on earth this event will automatically stop. Everything we set back to normal. You Gentiles on top. Bill Gates come out of the bush and say, I'm ruling the world now. Yeah, I'm rich now. Where is Dave Chappelle when you need it? I'm rich, biatch. Where are you? And then Elon Musk, Jeff Bezos coming on top and say, well, we have gold now. So, yeah, we reset everything. And then I think as Jeff Bezos, I'm going to build another website. I'm not going to call it Amazon. I'm going to call it Sarah. And instead of selling books and all that, I will sell gold on my website, saha.com, instead of the Amazon that is over there in the Brazil. And so, well, I call it Mississippi.com. And I'm just skimming into all those years that passed. So those guys weren't ruling, right? They were not. We had 400 years of silence. I didn't know what was happening 400 years ago, through 3 years ago, prior to 2020. Prior to 2020, no 83s had no idea what happened pre-2022. Nobody was paying attention until 2020 get here, excuse me. Everything was going fine. They were looking in the future. Who's going to rule the world? And they already tell you it's going to be the elite. Jeff Bezos, Warren Buffett, the Pope himself, Mr. Benedict Emeritus, the Queen herself, 6 feet under, and that permanent sauna, barbecuing her butt, and all that. They already give you all those lineup. Oh, we're looking for 2020, 2021, Agenda 2021, Agenda 2030. By 2030, the Hispanic population will overpower this. They were looking in the future. Nobody said, wait a minute, but what happened in the past? What happened in 1960s, 1970? What happened in the 80s? What happened in the 90s? Did we do something? It's something that happened to a group of people in 1619. No one wants to talk about the past, and no one wants to recall and reminisce about the past. Everybody's looking to the future until they reach 2020. 2020, they thought it was a fluke. 2021, they start missing 2020. 2022 become worse. They start missing 2021. And 2022, 2023, and then people are reminiscing. I mean, things were better back then. Why is that? Why all of you are saying, oh, well, at least back in the 40s and the 60s, America was a good place. We respected God, and all of a sudden now you don't respect God. What causes that? You are getting closer to a timeline you don't like, and you don't want. You are going closer. You're getting closer to your destruction. Now, fast forward to that 1 year. Why do you have 1 year left? Because once the clock reached 12, the 11th, in the 11th hour, there's no 12 hours, so to speak. When you're in the 11th hour, the moment you past 11:59, the 11th hour done, 12 hour get in, that's it. You're done. Now, I do not know in this time of that 1 year period, are we going to get certain celestial event? Are we going to get certain celestial alignment that will indicate, beloved, something you've been marked? You have a target in the back of your head. You cannot see it. You may turn. You won't be able to take it off. You can't. Just like your forefather was marked because of what he did to his little brother, there's a spot in your head that is marked. Well, your forefather is in his face, his forehead, but yours is in the back of your head. And that's where they're going to get you. And the cerebellum, subconscious mind, if you've been studying with us. Now, from 2023, March 2nd to next March 2nd, you have 1 year. Additional to that, and 21 more days, Pluto, aka planet hell, the horse of the Black George himself, people call it all sort of name, Hades, Lucifer, whatever. Those are names. People say, well, Big Leaf, they say Hades, they say hell. That's Lucifer. You guys are watching when Lucifer is coming. Listen, friendo, I don't know. Did you guys just get here? We passed this nonsense. The words, afraid of words in book, we know they're talking about planet Pluto, and Pluto gonna come here. The Black Judge is already in Pisces, judging the age of Pisces. Pluto will move to Aquarius, cleaning out, make sure there's no garbage getting in here. Pluto is that vacuum, that black hole that swallow up everything. Beloved, I have no idea what's going to happen to certain people, but one thing for sure, if we've been receiving all those good messages, such as the guest chamber, the upper room that is already furbished and well maintained, and everything's already there for this group of people that will come there to celebrate certain Passover, that's positive to me. But when the Mighty One sent this dream, a black hen, 2 o'clock, you got 1 year, you got 11th hours, and we are today officially in the 8th hours. You have 3 hours left. Do you understand? Is everybody clear on the message? Because we are messengers, we just deliver the message unto you. You got 1 year to get your hish right. You got 1 year to stop effing around. Of course, beloved, I'm not going to take the liberty and saying this. I have 1 year to get my stuff right. And I've been getting my stuff right for a while now. I'm going to keep on carrying that on. Thank you, beloved. Yes. Thank you for all of you. Let me, before I move to the next subject, let me check my email here. Okay. Brother Jose was trying to call me multiple times. I'm not quite sure the brother has a message. Oh, crap. Man, Brazil is really getting it right now. I mean, Sao Paulo. Well, not South Pole, but San Pablo. I thought it was Sao Paulo. San Paulo. Okay. Okay. All right. I checked the email. The book, it's the book of Jasher. The book of Jasher tells the story of Lot's daughter when things happen unto her. Okay. Now, beloved, let us move through the program as we are moving. Okay, give me a second. I think I have. Great sister. I will pass that on to the nation. Okay. Yes. Oh, Psalm 51, beloved. Let us read Psalm 51 right quick. Today is a deck. Oh, good grief. Things are. Oh, Big Levi, you're losing your mind, sir. Today is already Zedek. And have you seen the conjunction between Zedek and Noga? Have you seen the conjunction? I'm receiving a lot of positive images. You see how people fell in love with watching the skies and paying attention? Back then, things like that happen all the time, but we never pay attention to this until recently. That's not the first time those conjunction been taking place. But this was the first time our people were watching the sky. We literally see it. It's not like we just wake up and then we just look at the sky. No, we just wake up, we're walking around, and then something tell us look up, and then when we look up, bam, it's there. It's there. All right. Let us read Psalm 53 to fulfill the covenant. Have mercy upon me, O God, according to thy loving kindness, according unto the multitude of thy tender mercies. Blot out my transgressions. Wash me thoroughly from mine iniquity and cleanse me from my sin. For I acknowledge my transgressions, and my sin is ever before me. Against thee, thee only have I sinned and done this evil in thy sight, that thou mightest be justified when thou speakest, and be clear when thou judgest. Behold, thou wast shapen in iniquity, and in sin did my mother conceive me. Behold, thou desirest truth in the inward part, and the hidden part thou shalt make me to know wisdom. Purge me with hyssop, and I shall be clean. Wash me, and I shall be whiter than snow. Make me to hear joy and gladness, that the bones which thou hast broken may rejoice. Hide thy face from my sins, and blot out all mine iniquities. Create in me a clean heart, O Yahweh. Renew a right spirit within me. Cast me not away from thy presence, and take not thy Holy Spirit from me. Restore unto me the joy of thy salvation, and uphold me with thy free spirit. Then I will teach transgressors thy ways, and sinners shall be converted unto thee. Deliver me from blood guiltiness, O heavenly one, thou God of my salvation, and my tongue shall sing aloud of thy righteousness. O Lord, open thou my lips, and my mouth shall show forth thy praise. For thou desirest not sacrifices, else would I give it. Thou delightest not in burnt offering. The sacrifices of the mighty one are a broken spirit, a broken and a contrite heart, O heavenly one, thou wilt not despise. Do good in thy good pleasure unto Zion, build thou the walls of Jerusalem. Then shalt thou be pleased with the sacrifices of righteousness, with burnt offering and a whole burnt offering. Then they shall offer bullocks upon thine altar. Yes, as every Thursday we are fasting, brethren. We are in a 31 day of fasting. Give the Most High a hand, man. 31 days. 31 days of fasting, brethren. 31 days. We have 11 more days. Well, no, not 11 more days. We have 9 days. 9 days to go. You see, it's no coincidence. We have 9 days to go. Abraham was 99 years old, and number 9 is the number you can't get out of. For the intra-templum, you know what I'm saying? You can't get out of this thing. You're locked in there. 9 days to go. Yep. We're going to make these 9 days a holy 9 days. Usually we always say the 9 days for the 9 planet. You know, Neptune and Uranus add in there. Pluto, the Mist. You got that 12 planet, 7 planet that all do us and stuff. Good. Brethren, keep up the fast. Keep up the fast. Things are doing marvelously for me. You know, everything is doing well for me so far, and I'm assuming things are going well for you. Of course, the nation, we have certain hiccups. We have certain things that happen in our lives, and we are dealing with them. To move on with the next subject, we had played in the beginning of this video concerning the airplanes, okay, concerning the train. We see it in Ohio that we had an incident over there concerning a metal plate that caught on fire and exploded. Somebody is no more. Now let me read unto you what the sister had sent it unto us concerning the plate that exploded. Okay. Oh, okay. Oh boy, it's not. Is it there? Oh, it's not. It's scheduled. What the hell? That thing was supposed to already schedule. Let me see. What am I doing? That thing was supposed to already be in. Let me see. Oh man. Boy, I scheduled it for March the third instead of today. Ah man. But let me read what oh boy, it's quite long. It's quite long. You know what? Let me go ahead and read it. Let me go ahead and read it. Okay, for the people. Let me see if I can reschedule it for you. Once you schedule something in YouTube like that, you cannot reschedule it. You can't reschedule it. Yeah, you can't. Once you schedule, you're gonna have to delete it and then come up with it again. Let me see if I can do it. One. All right. Oh, it can. All right. What time? One. I will put it at 1:15. Well, 1:15 already passed. 1:30. 1:30. It will be published today. It's from our sister Kayla. Let me just see if I can read it. Okay. All right. Let me read it for you, beloved. Okay. It seems that Ohio is under great judgment at the moment, with another fiery conflagration in the midst, and as if the last explosion wasn't enough. Now, this one at a metals manufacturing plant, killing one and injuring 13 others. Of course, there is no saying this in the news. It's not in the news. I look for it. Well, it is in the news. It's on the written article, but no news station go over there and give you the details. So far, I have not seen this. If you have a news, please send it on to me. The significance of the number 13 is in reference to Hebrew numerology is as follows. First, the number 1 is directly associated with the letter Aleph, which is in Hebrew and stuff. Here is a direct passage from the book The Energy of Hebrew Letters by Rav Berg. The letter Aleph stood outside and did not enter. The Holy One, blessed be He, said to it, Aleph, Aleph, why do you not enter and stand before me like the other letters? It replied, Master of the universe, because I saw that all the others left you without benefaction. So what shall I do there myself? Not only that, but you have already presented the letter Bet with this greatest gift of all, and it would not be proper for the supernatural king to take back the gift which he present for his servant and give it back to another. The Holy One, blessed be He, said, Aleph, Aleph. Even though the world is created with the letter Bet, you shall be the first of all the letters. My attachments shall be expressed only by you, and all calculations and action of the people shall commence with you. Therefore, all the unity shall be expressed by the letter Aleph. Now let's look at the number 3, which has the combination of the Hebrew letters Dalet and Gimel. The Hebrew letter Dalet means from poverty. The Hebrew letter Gimel reciprocates to Dalet as its benefactor. Together, they sustain one another and create a balance, poverty and wealth, of course. And according to the Kabbalah of Numbers, 13 represent wickedness. The 13th major key of the Tower is the reaping skeleton, the Black George himself. Change, collapse, reaction, death. That's the meaning of it, okay? And since we are students and aspiring intra-templum initiates, simplify the number 13 down to number 4, and Kabbalah, of course, 1 + 3 = 4, and Kabbalah numerology, the number 4 represents strength, power, and solidity, of course, the 4 element. The fellow that was no more in that place, his name is Steve Mullins. His age is 46. 4 + 6 = you know what? Was an employee who died in the explosion. His name translates to Steve, aka victorious, crown. Anytime you see the word Victor, victorious, Alex, Alexandra, Alexis, you know who in the midst. 4 + 6 again. Okay, Mullins, which come from the word mill, windmills, the shape of an X mark the spot, the 4-quarter, the 4 element. The Ohio plant manufactures metals, particularly browns an alloy derived from two metals, copper and tin. We know that copper and tin represent Noga and Zedek. We just saw the glorious union and Noga and Zedek in the skies on March 1st, 2023. The periodic table numbers for both copper and tin combined equal the number 7. Copper, 29, and tin, 50. 2 plus 9 plus 5 plus 0 equals 16. 1 plus 6 equals 7. Perfection. Just like if you add 2024 BC plus 2024 AC, you will equal 7. Perfection. Number 7 is equilibrium, happiness, and rest. Be at peace, beloved. It is done. Great glory unto the infinite, eternal one, handmaid, Sister Kayla. Okay, well, the pictures that have, when you see it, the pictures coming from her, and I believe one picture is coming from me, and I think another sister make another one. It will be published in about 5 minutes. You will see it in the community page. Just to let you know, the class for the art class is done. You know, we will let you know when we have another one. So the graduation is next week. I mean, this week coming up, and we'll have a showcase. We'll show you the positive imagery that our people have produced for the nation. Positive stuff. We give the mighty one great glory, okay? Yes, beloved, as you see all over, the evidence is clear. Will the art be on the Facebook? I will try to send it to Brother Gatrell. I haven't been communicating with the brother for a while now. Boy, that's terrible. It will be on the website, and we will do the best that we can do to send it to Brother Gatrell, because it's a lot. I don't want to overburden the brother, but we will send it on to him so he can post it on the Facebook group, so the Facebook group people can see it. Okay, you can see it on the website, you can see it on Facebook, you can see it on our videos on YouTube, and you can download the images either on the website or on the Patreon. But if you go to Patreon, you're gonna have to pay at least $5 minimum a month to download unlimited images and do whatever you want with them. So yes, now you've seen, beloved, everything that happening, there is a message. We just, at least by now, brethren, I'm expecting all of you that been following for a while now to know the meaning of those numbers, to know the practice, to know how to decode things, man. You know how dreadful that is if you are afraid of numbers? The world is made by numbers, man. If you're definitely afraid of books, numbers, you're definitely afraid of places, then you do not have the spirit of the mighty one in you. Numbers is everything. If you got your paycheck, the first thing you look at, how much is it? Did I get jacked? That's the first thing. When you look at your paycheck, like, I don't know, what is it? No, I haven't said it. When you get your tax return, like, let me see, how much is this thing? We watch numbers like hell. We were just talking about number. Today is the 8th hour. We just make calculation. Number is everything. You remember when you were young. You remember, you even warn young people, don't reach the age 50. Don't reach this. How old am I today? Boy, I'm getting old. Numbers. Did I eat today? I only eat once a day, one time. Numbers. Numbers are everywhere. Oh, we are obsessed with numbers. Certain people, numbers have caused them certain things, certain addiction that are not it's quite shameful. You know, certain people love numbers so much they spend money on numbers. Instead of them counting numbers or money, they spend money on numbers, a lot of money. Woo! Brothers, let me touch on gambling. It has just occurred unto me that gambling is a serious problem. I never gamble. I don't know how to gamble. And when I was a child, it was forbidden unto me to gamble anything. I don't know how to gamble. I don't know how to play poker. I don't know how. I play the lottery like other people. I don't know what it, I don't. If you give me the lottery box, you tell me to check it stuff. I don't know what to do. I don't know how to do that. I don't know how to gamble. That's like the people say, honest to the mighty one. I don't know how to gamble. I was checking. Now, this might get a little personal, brethren. If it is, forgive me. I'm going to switch and change the story, okay? I was working in a certain place. I believe Brother Jerry Mallet lived in that place. And I was working in the oil field, making a young man, 28, 27 years old, making 75K to 100K a year. That's a lot of money, man. But I had a daughter and I had stuff and things like that. So the money is good. But equally, I had a fellow, he was a Gentiles that was working with us in this oil field. He was making I think he was making more than me because he was a senior. I was just a greenhorn when I got in. The fellow was making a lot of money. But brethren, he was he was a Mexican decent fellow. I love that guy. I just love this dude to death. That guy, you know what? You know when you watch a movie, when everybody tell you that movie is so bad and you watch the movie is indeed so bad, but it becomes so good. The movie is so backward, so funny. It just doesn't make any sense. You just see the ridiculousness in the movie. You love it. I love the dude. He's just that guy. The fellow is as backward as they come. Every single time, brother, we receive our paycheck. Remember, numbers is everything. The dude always there, okay, but I take this so I get jacked, man, stuff. Brother, 2-3 days later, the guy is asking, yo, can I borrow this? Can I borrow that? I was always astonished. I'm like, yo, your paycheck was like $3,500, man. Like, yo, man, your paycheck was $2,500, $2,700. That's what our paycheck was, 25, 20, 22, 2,000. After a few days, he like, yo, man, I need to borrow a few this, few that. I'm like, okay, here. 2-3 days later, he come back, yo, man, I know, I'm sorry, can you spot me this? And I'm like, okay, I spot him. And then one day, keep asking, and I stop him. I say, yo, son, something is wrong here, man. You something going on? It's nothing going on, man. It's just I have this thing that I need to take care of and stuff. Well, as a man, I assume the fellow, he kind of like have a subscription to the local nearest bakery shop. So I'm like, man, come on, man. You should have told me sooner, man. Hey, go ahead, go treat yourself, good sir. Here's another 2, here's another 3, and then you will give it back to me whenever you have it. I mean, that's what I thought when he said I got an issue and stuff like that. That's what I thought. Come to find out, where we were working, brothers, there is a casino 50 miles away. 50 miles away. I think it was even more than 50 miles. It was, was it in Killdeer? Anybody familiar with North Dakota? There's a casino there. Was it in Killdeer? We were staying in Honor Guard. Honor Guard to Killdeer, I'm not quite sure, but the casino was there. Come to find out, the fellow has an issue with gambling. Not only that, he had a cookie problem too. He had that cookie problem. But If you're familiar working in the oil field, it's nothing but a sausage fest, sir. You go around, you'll see more dudes crossing sword than one cookie. If you find a cookie down there, if you even hit or find one, that's like a miracle. There is no such things when the oil field. You live in a company house or main camp. There's a reason they call it a main camp. Okay, things are dangling around here. The main camp, like a place, there's like 6 houses, all 6 houses are loaded with dudes. It's basically, cookies are very expensive over there. I tell the guys that work in the oil field, they can tell you. Let me see this. Somebody text me. Okay. So things are quite expensive, man. Yeah, it's a piece of cookie. They're not afraid to ask you $500 or this. Like, hey, man, are you paying or you choose to go ahead and then another fellow? But the point is, the guy had a gambling problem, and it was extensive, intensive. And one day he chose to disclose this thing unto us, and he brought us into this casino. He had 22, somewhere around 2 G's above that. Brother, I'm not kidding you. He went to the table, whatever they're doing, blackjack or rolling that whatever scrap thing. He put 1,000 on whatever number that was. He lost it. And you can see when this guy pulled up everything, I didn't know what was going on. And then he turned around, he looked at us, and I look at him. You can see his facial expression change. He put another 1,000. He lost it. He had the rest 200. He get off whatever table he was going. He went to the machine. He put that in there. He lost it. In a matter of less than 1 hour, the paycheck is gone. And when we had to buy food for him, he didn't want the food. He said he give him the money, he will get more money to get more food. And I thought that was like the strangest things I ever seen. Me being raised not gamble, I don't know what gambling is. I see casino, but it's nothing matter. I don't know gambling people. Is when I start coming back home and hang out with other people, especially the seniors down there in Florida. It's a huge problem. The seniors, I was watching certain video. There's a lady, she lost all her saving at that machine over there. There's a fellow, his 401k, whatever they call this thing is completely gone. There's a guy, not only he owed betting shop, he owed everything. He literally before he reached his paycheck, he already broke. Now, come to find out, the young people don't need to go to the casino. They don't need to go to the casino at all. There are certain apps they can download in there. And I now understand why those people are always broke. I'm like, why can't you? What is it, man? Like, you don't eat. Big Levi eat. I do. I can out-eat anybody in this casino altogether. This. Football, spot game. Is that what there's a spotting game? What do you call it? Spotting bet? Fantasy, or what is that what that is? Bet football or bet sport or whatever bet they are doing out there. I've done certain research. I'm quite ignorant in this thing. And I realized, wait a minute, that thing, fantasy football, is that what that is? This thing is ravaging people. Brethren, if you have an issue, please stay away from this, man. And telling you one thing, brothers. What you are calling gambling, our forefathers, especially Judah. I mean, Judah was especially Judah. I mean, Jonah, Judah, those guys cast lot all the time. In the Bible, they call it cast lot, shake him up, shake him up, shake him, wall him with the 7-11. Those guys, back then, this thing is crazy. Yeah, that's why in certain books, they give you way to win. Certain books, they give you formula. When I'm reading those things, it makes no sense to me. I'm like, why would somebody want to win? Why would you want to? I don't. To me, if I'm gambling, I have to. I don't know. This is the mindset of a gambler. I do not like to play a game that I played for chance. No. For instance, I play a game. Let's say boxing. But put me against, or let me choose an opponent. Of course, I will choose somebody that is weaker than me so I can beat the spirit out of that fellow and win the money. Okay, give me a choice to play basketball or football. I'll take like a kid that don't know what he or she is doing, so can play against him and win. I will pull the odds in my favor. But you put me against a computer or a machine that I put money in there and hoping something, somehow, some way, stars will align and I will win this. I don't like that. I don't like this. There's a young kid. He's like 14. He lost everything. It's like, why does a 14-year-old get money to bet? Like, where do you get it? And he done certain shameful stuff to his parents' purse and wallet, lie, borrow, betting. There are so much gambling app out there. My mind was, I'm like, that's the reason why the Most High God Almighty, He really keep me away from those things. And those things are easily addictive, brothers. Thank you, Sister Nicole. Thank you. That was my next step. 988. Brother. 988. A lot of people, man, people that you think they're doing well, they have no drug problem. You see, when people die 988, we always assume they either have a drug problem or their wives or some kind of romantic problem and stuff. Sometimes, you see, gambling is very discreet. Gambling is very discreet. Somebody can have a gambling problem here. You won't know nothing about it. Gambling will ruin you, brothers. It will. I've seen this thing. I've seen the guy. The guy was telling me this story. He said he used to own a shop. Hopefully the guy is not watching. He used to own a welding shop. He was a welder. He is good at it. He said the whole shop is gone because of this. He said when he was doing the welding shop, he was passing a place. He saw like those trailer house. He slowed down. He stopped. He looked at the trailer house. He said, he was young though. He said, I will never, ever live here. The people that I live here are lazy. They that. A couple years later, he lived in a place worse than that. He lost everything. He said, I will never, never remember. I will never, never forget this. Beloved, that's why we have the $5 challenge, man. Instead of you buy a squatch of tickets, save it. Beloved, I will leave you with peace. It seems like this little lady was supposed to be ready at 1, but she is not. Brethren, I will leave you with peace. I will leave you with love. Remember, fellow, you have 1 year. I'll say fast. Pray, repent, repeat. May the King reign forever. And if you have this problem, brethren, take care of it. Take care of it. Selah. So be. Today is the deck. I believe in Shabbatai we will have a call in. Okay, we should have a call in on Shabbatai. But I always say this and then I end up doing something completely different. But we're probably gonna have a call in and go past the dreams and read the letters and go back and talking about the 12th, 11th hour and 1 year again. Going to depth. Selah. Thank you, beloved B Pie, for that super staker. Thank you for the blessing.